What's going on, Generation Iron? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Sex, Love, and Bodybuilding. I'm Margarita Ventura.
And I'm Akim Williams, here to bring you another great episode again. What are we talking about today, Margarita?
Today we're going to talk about whether or not it's superficial to want to date someone who's into fitness.
Pretty deep topic.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean...
I thought it was skin deep. Just kidding. Is it superficial to want to date someone who's into fitness as opposed to who's not into fitness?
Well, I personally think it's all about a preference.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's superficial. If that's what you're into, and that's what you're into. On the other hand, some people are, when it comes to what their significant other is, or basically what they like in terms of as far as relationship,
Mm-hmm.
it could be a little bit superficial because
Yeah.
you usually want the perfect body,
Yeah.
and if your goal is to attain the perfect body and you want something to match you, then it kind of gets into the realm of being a little bit superficial.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, we always talk about like beauty is beyond the skin. It goes deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like these days a lot of people expect, even if they're not bodybuilders with the perfect physique,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it goes back to aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, that guy, he's nice and he would be great for me, but that one looks great with his shirt off. So it becomes a little superficial. And
Well, I mean, it all goes back to like what you're into.
yeah,
Because something that looks, I don't know, sexy or beautiful for me might not be the same for you.
mm-hmm.
So it's all about that person's preference, what they're into. So I can't just judge someone and say they're superficial for liking somebody that's into fitness.
Yeah.
Because, that's what they're into,
Because it might be like a lifestyle thing.
Exactly.
As well.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. It cuts into the lifestyle also.
Yeah.
Because you would definitely want somebody to match what you're into.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm into hockey, I would want somebody that likes hockey.
Loves hockey.
Exactly. Or if I'm into basketball or football, I would want somebody that loves football or basketball.
Totally.
Because then you have something that you share together.
Yes.
So the same way in the fitness world, if you're into fitness, of course you might like somebody that's into fitness also.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have a gym buddy, you go to the gym and train together and just, eat healthy and share that lifestyle together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've certainly dated in the past people who I loved for their personality and their heart and their mind. And they weren't exactly into fitness. Maybe I got them into it. They chose their sport of
Now
liking.
let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Who would you feel more confident walking down the street with? Somebody that's,
Well, here's where I'm going to be honest now. This is why I asked this question, because after years of, so-called not being superficial, I'm sure I'll get slammed for this somehow, but I realized that yes, it's a lifestyle thing, but it was also somewhat of an aesthetic thing. Most of these guys, some of them were insecure because they might have had they're a little overweight. Some of them were very secure with themselves. They're like, this is my girlfriend, she's super fit and into fitness. I'm kind of into fitness, but not so much that my aesthetic is on point. And there just came a point when my eyes would start roaming. Not that I was going to act upon it, but it was tough.
So
it was tough,
You would be with the guy that...
So I was being slightly superficial.
Yes.
But I think men behave the same way. You can love someone, but how many times have men been with a woman and she's either totally lost herself or maybe there's been health issues? I mean, it can be a variety of things.
Of course, yeah.
And that's where it can get kind of deep. But then their eye goes to the more aesthetic person, and that person might be into fitness because they pay attention to their physique.
I mean, it's a very, very thin line because, there are guys like you always say one man trash is another man's treasure. And you would actually see a guy, he has a trophy girlfriend.
Right.
And she looks amazing, but yet he's still running around doing whatever else, And like I always say, like for every beautiful girl out there, there's always some guy that's basically can't stand her, or is like super annoyed at her. So that's why she's out there like that. So You know,
I've heard that. Is that like a guy code? It's definitely a guy code.
Well, it's true. You know, it's
you know, when
actually
you're
true.
like looking at a sea of hot girls, you're like, bro, I know
Yeah,
they're
it's
all
true,
hot,
'cause,
but
know,
there's some guy
out there that's just,
that is just like, I can't stand that girl.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's a true thing, you know, and you just can't date somebody because they have to have other qualities other than just the way they look, or you know, they have to have other physical or mental whatever qualities that they bring to the table to keep a guy or even a man, to keep them, like, you know, interested in them. Because you just by your looks alone, that's not going to keep somebody. Because at the end of the day, there are a lot of beautiful people in the world.
There is.
You know?
I don't even know if just aesthetics is enough.
Exactly.
You know, because there's a lot of aesthetically beautiful people.
In the past, you know, I've talked to girls, and, you know, I thought they were hot and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, you start talking to them, and you're just like, there's no substance there. Exactly.
Brick wall.
Exactly. And of course, would you sleep with
You're
them?
like, that's different. Another topic.
Yeah, but would you want to have, like, you know, start up a relationship with them? We probably wouldn't.
Yeah. But on the flip side, for people who aren't fit and maybe they're being overlooked, do you think that men adding inches to their muscle mass will gain more attention from women?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, I think the world is changing a lot. And back in the days, so to speak, if a guy was buff and big and had a lot of muscle and stuff like that, he always get all the girls. And now today, sure, she might look at him and whatever, but nowadays I think women want more than that. You know,
What
you
do they
have to
want? They want the dollar bills.
You know,
They want a
everyone
provider.
Exactly, everyone want to be wine and dine, so you can't just have the muscles. Now you have to bring something else to the table. You know, that's not going to fly anymore.
Right.
I think, you know, the dynamics of what women are into in terms of, they don't really give a shit about your physical appearance like that anymore. They care about basically, what can you do for me? You know, and
That's interesting.
I see that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
I see that a lot too.
Yeah, exactly.
But then those women will land that and then get bored and then look at the pool boy.
That's true.
Right?
That's definitely
So
true.
you have that kind of stuff
Yes,
going on.
Yes. But they got to make sure that they're secure first.
Right.
So they care about their security first, and then they worry about the other stuff after.
Right. Right.
You know?
So it's almost an advantage to like the nerds
Yeah, exactly.
who can provide
Yes.
to build a great physique, because being in a powerful position with a powerful physique is like,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, you think about it.
then you got to tell the women to calm down, because they'll see everything, the entire package. So you have to know.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it like, even from the superhero standpoint, you know, the girls always go for the big, strong guy and everything like that. You know, he's the protector, the savior, and stuff like that. But nowadays, you know, what you want protected from? You know, you just need somebody that could provide, help you provide, you know, to make you enjoy that kind of lifestyle that you supposedly see yourself living in. You know? And if you could find that in a guy, for most women, they would pick that over a guy that's basically super attractive or in really good shape. They would pick the guy that basically could provide what they need or the kind of lifestyle that they're into. They'll pick that guy versus the guy that's in really good shape.
That's interesting to hear from a man's perspective. I mean, I know that's true, but I didn't know that it rang so true even to men.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
something that you guys think about.
Of course.
And then when you're going on dates, you try to see if that's a superficial
Oh, man,
thing.
you have no idea how many times I get that joke. Like, yeah, you got the muscles, but I got the deep pockets.
Well, you know what, though? I've heard even from my male friends that are out there in the dating world who have both. They work out and they have deep pockets, and they'll see right away when there's a self-entitled girl sitting across from them. They're like, next. They want someone that, like, will be a team and, like, knows how to fend for herself and isn't expecting him to front the bill and everything.
A guy that, you know, have the deep pockets and stuff like that, he usually wants somebody like a trophy kind of wife or trophy girlfriend and stuff like that. So he don't really care about splurging or spending or whatever money.
So he wants a fit girl.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
You know?
it's true. Yeah. It's true.
Because,
you know,
most of these guys are not in shape. You know, they're so concerned with basically making money and stuff like that. They don't have time for the gym and stuff like that. So they would want somebody that complements the money that they have. It's like a guy who's wealthy. What is the first thing he's going to go get? Like a fast car, a Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know, a Bentley. You know,
So
you don't go drive around a Honda Civic. You know, because he needs something to just show off his money. Same thing he would do with his woman. You know,
Yeah.
you need somebody that complements the kind of money or his finances and stuff like that. You're not gonna pick up anybody from the street and just.
But a hot, muscly guy will also want to choose like a somewhat aesthetically pleasing woman,
yeah,
right?
But a hot, muscly guy would actually rather a girl that could cook and clean.
You know, that's funny because I have noticed in the bodybuilding world that a lot of my bodybuilding friends, but here's the thing, we've talked about competitors dating other competitors. However, I've seen some of my, cover models and whatever, guy friends that are into bodybuilding date women who don't really hit the gym as hard as them, but provide a lot of support, and they cook and clean.
Think about it.
And they're not the fittest girls.
What's the bodybuilder's best friend? Food.
That's true.
And most of the girls that are
that is my best friend too.
Most of the girls that are superficial and everything like that, they can't even cook shit. So
yeah, they gotta order.
You definitely need somebody that knows their way around the kitchen.
It's true.
Because you spend so much time cooking and stuff like that. You need somebody that can help you out.
No, it's true.
So
it's true.
Bodybuilders are kind of smart in that aspect.
They're like, I need someone that knows how to cook, how to clean, is a real person. Because you guys all started somewhere. You weren't just, you didn't pop out like, I look like a Greek god.
Exactly.
You worked really hard for it. And you came from a place of, either really skinny or fat or just,
What's the point of having a trophy if it can't do anything for you?
That's right.
You can't just sit at it and look at it all day.
On the flip side, do you think that women who are super skinny or overweight, like does losing inches or gaining inches in the right areas gain a man?
Yeah. I mean,
that sounds superficial.
It does sound superficial, but I've seen women that basically went from being 0 to hot because
like
they lost
10.
weight and stuff. Exactly. And all of a sudden they become very attractive, and they start getting a lot more attention from men. Especially like you. I know you guys out there have seen it before. That one fat girl from high school. You haven't seen her in a few years, and all of a sudden, bam!
She's
she
like,
showed
up.
She showed up out of nowhere. You're like, holy shit!
Oh, damn.
That's her from high school, like the same girl.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
and they're like salivating.
You start thinking stuff about her that you never would actually see yourself in high school thinking about her.
It's crazy.
So it happens.
Yeah, but do you think that those people that had to work really hard to gain inches and lose inches, they have a different point of view because they weren't always the hot person. So when they get all of this attention, they might take advantage of it or
sometimes
get in the mix of it, and then after a while it levels out because they're like, oh, you wouldn't have liked me before.
I've seen it where it was like that, and I've seen it where it just makes that person like such a big douche.
Yeah.
Because it just gets to their head.
Yeah.
And they're not understanding that the guys that are giving them attention, when you were fat or whatever, he would never even look at you.
Yeah.
So I think you should be humble regardless. If you weight gain or weight loss challenge or whatever, you should be humble regardless. And just appreciate what you work hard for, knowing that somebody is appreciating it and you just don't want to give it to anybody.
I believe that. I like that. I like that. And I think especially in the bodybuilding world, because the results that we're trying to get take so much time and effort, I think people, for the most part that I've seen, I've seen what you're saying, where they get super cocky and they're like, they change as a person. But I've also seen the flip side where they stay pretty humble and they like.
I think that's the best thing you should do.
They're like,
humble,
and they're attracting all kinds of attention and people, but they're still like, but they wouldn't have liked me before I got this outer shell.
Exactly.
So that's when the superficiality fades.
Yeah.
So that's it. I think we're kind of like, we didn't. Is it superficial? Is it not superficial? It can be a little bit of both.
It could be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It all depends on your preference, man. If you're a superficial person, you want somebody, that complements your lifestyle, complements the money or whatever else you have. I say go for it.
Go for it.
As long as you can afford it.
That's right.
Just like, you go to the Middle East and those guys can afford more than one wives. You're allowed to do that. Go for it, man.
Just do it, yeah. You're like, have all the superficiality you want.
Of course.
So anyway, that was our debate on sex, love, and bodybuilding. And we'd love to hear from you. So make sure to subscribe to Generation Iron. And what else?
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I am at IFBB Pro Akim Williams, and Margarita is at
Margarita Ventura Fit on Instagram, and we'll check you guys later.
And I'm also like a lot of you guys, inbox me telling me about the shows and stuff like that. So really appreciate the comments and stuff like that. And if any questions, whether it's fitness or relationship, I'm not sure if I can give you the best advice, but you're welcome to message me, whatever.
Yeah. You're like an expert at lift and love. It's awesome. Thanks, guys. We love all your comments and support. Thank you.